The dense forests of Vera Prime were alive with sounds that made every creature alert. Strange calls echoed from the treetops, and the ground beneath shifted as small creatures scurried through the undergrowth. This planet, wild and untamed, was home to creatures that no other world had seen. Among them, the Serath stood out. Towering and fierce, it was an apex predator feared by all. Its sharp claws could tear through rock if needed, and its eyes glowed like molten gold when it hunted. Most who encountered it never lived to tell the tale. Hidden among the trees, a group of alien scientists watched silently. They were experts in wildlife study, sent to observe the predators of this planet from a safe distance. Each of them had prepared for danger, armed with knowledge, instruments, and caution. Their expectations were clear. A human encountering the Serath would not survive long. Yet Aaron Kale walked alone in the forest, moving with a quiet confidence that seemed unusual to the alien observers. His boots barely touched the ground as he stepped over roots and stones. Unlike the other humans the aliens had seen, Aaron did not carry heavy weapons or armor. He carried only a small satchel filled with supplies, herbs, salves, bandages, and tools. There was a calm intelligence in his eyes, a sense of understanding that went beyond instinct. He was not here to dominate the wildlife. He was here to understand it. As Aaron ventured deeper into the forest, he noticed the air grow tense. The birds had fallen silent, and even the insects seemed to have paused. Something moved ahead. A large shadow flickered between the trees, and the ground trembled slightly with each step. Aaron's heart did not race. He simply observed, noting the subtle limp in the creature's stride. The Serath emerged from the foliage, its massive frame towering over the bushes. Its golden eyes fixed on Aaron, and for a moment the world seemed to hold its breath. Most would have turned and run. Most would have drawn weapons. But not Aaron. He studied the Serath carefully, noticing the jagged scar along its leg. It was deep and raw, likely from a fight with another predator. Aaron knelt slowly on the forest floor, keeping his hands visible, and spoke softly. His voice was calm, carrying no threat. The aliens hiding behind the trees leaned forward, unable to believe what they were witnessing. The Serath, known for its deadly aggression, did not attack. It shifted its massive weight but remained still, watching Aaron closely. The human slowly unpacked his small kit, pulling out herbs and preparing salves. His movements were deliberate and confident, every step designed to avoid startling the creature. "Easy," he whispered, almost like a conversation. "I'm here to help, not hurt you." The Serath's golden eyes blinked slowly. It lowered its head slightly, and Aaron took it as a sign of trust. Carefully, he examined the wound. His hands were gentle, skilled, and precise. He cleaned the injury, applying a cooling paste to soothe the pain. The alien observers exchanged uneasy glances. They had expected the Serath to attack at any moment, yet it allowed the human to work. Hours passed as Aaron worked patiently, tending to the Serath with care. He used his knowledge of medicine combined with the resources he could find in the forest. Leaves, bark, and special herbs became a healing mixture under his hands. The Serath remained calm, occasionally shifting or snuffling, but it never tried to harm him. Finally, Aaron leaned back, wiping sweat from his brow. He smiled at the creature. "There, almost done. You'll feel better soon." The Serath lowered itself, resting on the forest floor as if exhausted from the healing process. The aliens were stunned. None of them could understand how a human could achieve this. The Serath, a predator that had terrified the entire planet, now seemed at peace in the presence of this one human. They had studied countless species and predators, yet they had never seen this level of trust. Aaron stood and looked around, sensing the hidden observers. He raised his hand in a small wave, acknowledging their presence. "I see you," he said softly. "Don't be afraid." The aliens hesitated, then slowly revealed themselves. They were cautious, keeping their distance, but their curiosity was overwhelming. Aaron turned to them, his expression calm and friendly. "This creature is not just a predator," he explained. "It is my companion." The aliens froze, disbelief clear on their faces. "Companion?" one of them asked in a tone that mixed confusion and awe. "You mean, you live with it?" Aaron nodded. "Yes, we've been together for years. We trust each other. It knows I would never harm it, and I know it would never harm me without reason. Our bond is built on understanding, patience, and respect." The alien scientists looked at each other, struggling to comprehend. To them, apex predators were meant to dominate or be dominated. No other species could form a mutual bond with one of them, let alone a human. Aaron's revelation challenged everything they knew about humans, about life, and about trust. The Serath shifted closer to Aaron, nuzzling him with its massive head. It was a gesture of loyalty, one that the aliens could not misinterpret. Aaron stroked its fur gently, speaking softly. "We understand each other," he said. "You don't need to fear me, and I don't fear you." The forest seemed to relax around them. Birds began to sing again, and the sounds of the undergrowth returned. Even the air felt lighter, as if acknowledging the unusual peace between human and predator. The aliens began asking questions, their voices filled with curiosity rather than fear. How had he formed this bond? How did he know what to do to heal the creature? How could a human, a species so small and fragile compared to the Serath, earn its trust? Aaron explained patiently. It took time. Years, actually. You cannot force trust. You must earn it. You must show that your intentions are honest. You must be patient and consistent, and you must respect the creature for what it is, not what you want it to be. The aliens nodded slowly, taking mental notes. They were fascinated. They had come to Vera Prime to study wildlife, but they were witnessing something far beyond normal observation. They were witnessing a human being truly extraordinary, not because of strength or weapons, but because of empathy, patience, and intelligence. As the sun began to set, casting golden light through the canopy, Aaron packed up his supplies. The Serath stood beside him, towering and imposing, yet obedient and calm. It was a sight that would be remembered by the aliens forever. A predator, feared by all, was standing peacefully with a human as if they were equals. Before leaving, Aaron turned to the alien team. "I hope you understand," he said quietly. "Humans can do things that others cannot. Not because we are stronger, but because we are willing to understand, to connect, and to care. Strength comes in many forms." The aliens watched in awe as Aaron and his companion walked deeper into the forest, disappearing among the trees. For the first time, they began to reconsider their assumptions about humans. They had always thought of them as fragile, unremarkable creatures. But what they had just seen suggested something far greater. Humans were capable of extraordinary empathy, courage, and connection, qualities that even the fiercest predators could recognize and respect. As darkness fell, the Serath and Aaron moved silently through the forest, a perfect example of harmony between human and nature. The aliens stayed behind, watching until the last shadow vanished. They would carry this memory back to their worlds, a story of a human who healed a predator and shared a bond that no one had believed possible. And somewhere deep in the forest, the Serath nudged Aaron gently, a simple gesture that spoke more than words ever could. Aaron smiled, understanding it completely. He knew that this bond was rare, precious, and unbreakable, and the aliens had seen it, finally understanding that humans could achieve things far beyond expectation. The sun rose slowly over Vera Prime, casting golden light across the dense forest. The trees stretched high, their leaves glowing in the morning light while small creatures scurried through the undergrowth. Aaron Cale moved carefully but confidently through the forest, the Serath walking alongside him. The predator's massive form was imposing, yet its movements were careful and controlled, perfectly in sync with Aaron. They had become partners, moving as one through a wild world that was often unforgiving. The alien scientists, still observing from a distance, could hardly believe their eyes. They had spent months studying the planet's wildlife, and yet nothing had prepared them for what they saw. The bond between human and predator was extraordinary. It was not built on fear, dominance, or force. It was built on trust, understanding, and a deep, mutual respect. The aliens could feel that the human did not command the Serath. Instead, the predator chose to follow him. As Aaron and the Serath moved deeper into the forest, the air began to change. The usual sounds of the forest quieted, replaced by a tense stillness. Aaron's senses sharpened. He noticed subtle changes, the way the wind shifted, the rustle of leaves far ahead, the faint vibrations through the ground. Something was approaching, and it was not alone. From behind a thick curtain of ferns, another apex predator emerged. Its scales glistened in the morning light, its eyes sharp and calculating. It was larger than the Serath in some ways, its frame thicker, its claws sharper. The predator growled low, a sound that echoed through the forest, warning all creatures of its dominance. The Serath stiffened, muscles coiling as if ready to attack. The alien observers instinctively prepared for a fight, expecting a violent clash that could leave either predator dead. But Aaron did not reach for a weapon. He did not shout or threaten. Instead, he stepped forward slowly, placing himself between the two predators. His voice was calm, carrying through the forest with steady confidence. "Easy," he said softly. "There is no need to fight." The new predator snarled and took a step closer, its intentions clear. It had never seen a human like Aaron before. Most humans would flee, cower, or try to fight back. But this human, he radiated a calm authority that even the predator could sense. Aaron extended his hand slightly, showing no threat, and looked directly at the new predator's eyes. The Serath beside him growled low, protective but restrained. It was a silent question. "Can I trust you to handle this?" Aaron nodded. "Yes, I know what I am doing. Trust me." Then he began to move slowly, deliberately, using subtle gestures to communicate with both predators. He had learned long ago that dominance alone could not solve conflicts with intelligent creatures. He had to show understanding, patience, and respect. Every step, every gesture, every tone of his voice was carefully calculated. The aliens watched in amazement. They had studied predator behavior for decades, but they had never seen anything like this. No other species could influence apex predators without weapons or threats. Humans, it seemed, had a unique ability, the ability to understand, communicate, and connect with creatures that were stronger, faster, and more dangerous. Minutes passed as Aaron continued his calm negotiation. The new predator sniffed the air, sizing him up, trying to understand his intentions. The Serath remained by Aaron's side, relaxed now, trusting him completely. Slowly, almost imperceptibly, the rival predator lowered its stance. It circled cautiously, still alert but no longer aggressive. Aaron knelt slightly, meeting the predator's gaze with steady calm. "There is no need for violence. You can leave and both of you will be safe." The rival predator hesitated, then turned and padded quietly back into the forest, its massive form disappearing among the trees. The forest seemed to relax again, the tension lifting as the threat passed. The alien observers released their collective breath, astonished at what they had just witnessed. Aaron stood and looked at the Serath. "See, peace can be stronger than force," he said quietly. The Serath nuzzled him gently, a silent acknowledgement of trust and understanding. Together they moved forward, deeper into the jungle, a perfect example of partnership between human and predator. As they walked, Aaron thought about the unique qualities humans possessed. It was not strength or speed that made them special. It was their ability to think, to empathize, and to connect with others, even creatures far larger or more dangerous than themselves. This bond with the Serath was not an accident. It was the result of patience, respect, and genuine care. The alien scientists took careful notes, their amazement growing with each passing moment. They had expected humans to be weak, fragile, and ordinary. Yet here was a human who could calm a predator, heal injuries, and mediate conflicts without force. They began to understand that humans were capable of things no other species could achieve. Aaron and the Serath eventually reached a small clearing by a stream, where the sunlight glimmered on the water, and small plants grew thick along the banks. The Serath crouched by the water, drinking carefully, while Aaron prepared a small meal for himself. The predator waited patiently, trusting him completely. "I've learned a lot from you," Aaron said softly, speaking more to himself than to the creature. "You've taught me patience, trust, and loyalty, and I hope I've shown you that not all humans are threats." The Serath blinked slowly, its massive head tilting slightly as if it understood every word. Their bond was deeper than words could express. It was a silent connection built over years of shared experiences, dangers faced together, and mutual respect. As the day progressed, Aaron began exploring the area for resources. He showed the Serath how to find the best herbs and roots for healing, how to navigate the forest quietly, and how to sense danger before it arrived. The predator followed eagerly, learning from its companion while trusting his guidance completely. The alien observers were still nearby, taking notes but careful not to interfere. They were learning as much from the human as the human was learning from the Serath. They realized that humans had an unusual ability to adapt quickly, think creatively, and connect emotionally, qualities that made them unpredictable but highly effective in difficult situations. As the evening approached, Aaron and the Serath settled near the stream. Aaron tended to small scratches and injuries on the Serath's legs, using the herbs and salves he had prepared. The predator accepted every touch calm and patient. "You are stronger than I am in many ways," Aaron said, stroking the creature's massive head. "But strength without understanding can be dangerous. Trust, patience, and respect. These are the things that truly matter." The Serath blinked slowly and rested its massive head on the human's shoulder, a gesture of loyalty and comfort. Aaron smiled, feeling the warmth of the connection they shared. The alien scientist recorded every moment, amazed at the harmony between human and predator. As night fell, the forest came alive with nocturnal creatures, and the stars shone brightly above. Aaron set up a small campfire, the Serath lying close to him, alert but calm. He reflected on the day, realizing that the human ability to connect with others, whether predator or prey, was a form of strength no weapon could match. The alien observers whispered among themselves, still trying to process what they had seen. "Humans are different," one said quietly. "Stronger in ways we never imagined. Not in muscle or speed, but in mind and heart." Aaron looked up at the stars, the Serath by his side. "We are stronger together," he said softly. "And the bond between beings, that is the greatest strength of all." The forest was peaceful, and the night passed quietly. When dawn arrived, Aaron and the Serath would continue their journey, exploring the wild lands of Vera Prime, showing that humans could achieve harmony with the fiercest creatures. The aliens would remember this day forever, carrying the knowledge that humans were not ordinary. They were capable of compassion, courage, and connection that even the strongest predators respected. And somewhere deep in the forest, the bond between human and predator grew stronger with every step, every shared moment, and every act of trust, proving that sometimes the greatest power is not in fighting or dominance, but in understanding and empathy.